Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Victory in Biz Accountability and Success Call. So good to see all of you here for us to get our mindset right for the week to come. I'm Vanessa, your confidence and success coach. Let's get rolling. So good to see all of you. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Albert. Gerard's here. Today, I really just want to take some time. We're going to set our number one goal for the week. Hi, Kent. And then I want to take a few minutes. Hopefully, we have like 5 minutes at the end left here, 5 to 8 minutes, where I can talk to you about really how to show up as a leader in your industry, right? A few steps or a few tips I have here for you today. So I look forward to sharing that. Hi, Jean. Welcome. So happy to have you here today. Wow. Lots of new faces. Loving it. All right. So with that said, Scott, I'm just going to start with you. Let's talk about what is your number one goal this week. What is the one thing? I know there's many, but share me the one most important thing you need to get done this week.
Returning to normal life so I can get moving on the book. Because I'm actually praying for a snow day, which we're not going to get yet.
Oh, yes. Well,
yeah, if I can have a snow day, I can get a week's worth of stuff done in 12 hours.
True, right? We had snow this weekend, so it's beautiful and snowy here in Colorado. Luckily today we have sun. Get on that book, Scott. Gotcha. Sushma, what is your number one goal this week?
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My number one goal this week is to get the word out for my upcoming workshop, my in-person workshop on the 11th of November. Self-confidence for success. That's the name of the workshop. Kind of working through a strategy on, so this is the first one after COVID. And because it's in person, kind of getting everything aligned and reaching out to people. And I'll be working on getting the registrations in this week.
Love it. Yes, Sushma, I'm excited about that for you. And of course, I'll be there. So we'll see. Yeah. And if I may say so, for everyone to know, we're getting Sushma certified as a self-image and confidence coach. So
yes,
yay. Fantastic. Thank you. Jake, how are you today? What is your number one goal this week?
Well, you know what it is. Number one goal this week is getting the book underway. A lot of content that we pulled, so that's the number one goal. Number two is I had a whole bunch of video work that I needed to get sent out. That's going out today for speaker stuff. So we've got things are underway, and it's just generally. And really, I put it in the reverse order. Number one goal is take care of me from a health standpoint, eat right, do what I'm supposed to be doing, taking my vitamins, getting my exercise, doing my gratitudes and affirmations, because if I am fully functional, all the other stuff is pretty easy. So that should have gone the other way.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you, Jake. And yes, we're looking forward to seeing what that book holds. Be exciting. By the way, did you get the template yet? Because okay, you did email Rob again, so you should get that today sometime. Fantastic. Thank you. Mr. Jeff Johnson.
Good morning. So I guess the number one goal for me is I am still working through all the great contacts that I made at the conference and trying to coordinate. I just had a great one-on-one with Jake before this call. Just getting that exposure and getting the intelligent conversations on the book and moving forward. So I know I can help people. It's just a matter of getting it all lined up.
Letting them know how, right? Letting them know that. Yes, fantastic. Thank you, Jeff. The follow-up can take a while. Gerard, how are you today?
Doing well, thanks. I've got a few things, kind of running through my mind, hearing a lot of people talk about books. I want to at least get an outline done. And of course, follow-ups, still working through those and all the notes from the conference. But my number one priority, it's on the list of things Rob sent me over, was to get a working draft of the business plan going, so we can really hit the ground running building and scaling, really in the trenches on it. And, you know, I have a task every day on my calendar this week to, you know, start to work on a section of it. So that'll be number one.
Fantastic. That business plan is so important, and especially I don't know when you're doing university, but you want to try and get that complete before you do university. So fantastic. Thank you, Gerard. Albert, good morning. What is your number one goal in your business this week?
Not to have snow in Miami. No, just kidding. My goal is I'm gonna be doing a webinar in 2 weeks about how to increase your profit in 60 days or less. So I'm now building out the PowerPoints for the event. It's gonna be 1 hours. So building out a PowerPoint for each day.
Fantastic. Let us know when that is going to be so we can all help you promote it. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you, Albert. Charlie, I see you're driving.
Let me put it. Sorry, there's links and affiliate links. So where would you want me to put that, by the way? Where
You
do I-
can put it in the chat for us. Charlie.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Driving to a meeting. I would say my number one goal this week is actually enrolling from follow-ups, you know, enrolling new people and getting people ready for this bull run. We're seeing some activity with Bitcoin and the ETFs. There's some accounting laws that are coming out, Albert, that you probably are aware of, that changes the whole scope of things for Bitcoin. And I'm launching a free mining strategy as a way to onboard people with little cash outlay. But so that's super interesting and excited about that. Goosemag.com, if anyone is ready. I know there's a few people in here that are interested or kind of on the fence. But reach out and let's get you guys ready and making some money for this bull run.
Woohoo. Sounds like fun. Thank you, Charlie. Mr. Kent Sauls, how are you today? And what do you need to get done in your business this week?
Yeah, very good. Doing very well. I'm blessed. Just kind of along the same lines, just trying to make sure I've got contact follow-up organized better this week than I did last week. Speaking with Kathy Riley, having an appointment with her to talk about the speaking side of things, and very interested in that and some follow-up on that. Need to follow up with Jake, and you just reminded me through someone else you were just talking to about business plan before university here coming up in November. So that was a good reminder. So that's also needs to be on the radar for me. But yeah, mainly it's trying to get organized with contacts and take another step forward with the speaking possibilities.
Yeah, Ken, fantastic. And just in case you didn't know, there is a template, a business plan development packet template in the resource center. If you don't have it, let me know. I can get it to you. That helps you write that business plan much quicker, easier than trying to go
Yeah,
from
whatever you can send it. That'd be great. Awesome. Put it at the top of the email list.
Do me a favor and shoot me a quick email or text and just say, Vanessa, remember the business plan development packet. Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Kent. Jean, how are you today? And what is your number one goal?
Well, good morning. My number one goal this week is to continue on the follow-ups. Last week, I followed up on everything all the contacts I had. I made one appointment, and coming up in the 2 weeks, I think it is, on the 10th, or is that next? Yeah, in 2 weeks, going to be sitting down with her, meeting with Sally. So that's going to be exciting. And I met with Jeff Allen last week, and no, that's not Jeff. Anyway, so yeah, I made some contacts, but I want to continue following up on those and looking forward to the university as well. So I will need that information as well as Kent said.
Okay. Also shoot me a text because I make sure I get it to you. Fantastic. And Jean, we need to get Rob in for some headshots with you. Okay. Yesterday he asked me to make him a banner for his website. I'm like, babe, I don't have any good photos of you. Come on. let's get some high resolution pics here. Let's get it going. So
Just grab one of the Facebook selfies. That's good enough.
yeah, right. No.
No,
It's hard to get him in front of the camera, but we got to make that happen. All right. Mac, last but not least.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am finishing up everything for Black Friday. This is my last big push to get product into all the stores around the territory. So that's going to be my main focus, along with everything else that I have going. This is just a very busy time of year.
Yep, it is, right, for everybody. And awesome, Mac. Always good to see you, hun. Good to have you around. How are you feeling? Better now? Yeah, we missed you at conference, but I know it takes time to get over that horrible COVID thing. So all thinking of you. Thanks for being here, though, today. So with that said, did I miss anybody? Did everybody get to state their number one goal? And we're going to keep ourselves accountable to that. So here I just wanted to share a few little thoughts that I had about standing out in your marketplace, standing out as a leader in your industry, right? We all are coaches. We all have had coaches. We all have done a lot of work on ourselves. And the question is always like, how do we continue to be unique? How do we continue to stand out in the marketplace? So there's just a couple of thoughts, 6 exactly, thoughts that I want to share with you. Most of our markets are very saturated. We're all dealing with there's so many people in our business or in our industry doing things the same way, which can make it so difficult to stand out, as you all know. We've all been there, done that, right? So everywhere you look, someone is giving advice or selling their solution or claiming they are an expert at whatever it is, right? We're all an expert. But a lot of those people don't have the real results to back them up. And I can thankfully say that you always hear me say that when I'm here on this call with you guys. I always feel like I'm preaching to the choir, right? Because we're all here to grow and learn. And we all have grown and learned so much. And for those of you that are going to university here soon, it's definitely going to be an amazing growth experience for you. But today, I just want to break down exactly how you can become an industry leader that sets the tone for everyone else and not be the one that follows everyone else, right? The number one thought that came to mind is to reduce consumption. So many people consume before they create. So they go out and they look for ideas, right? And yes, we have to do our research. We have to look at the marketplace. We have to see what's out there. But I feel like sometimes when you consume too much information, it stifles your own creativity and your own intuition about things. So I feel it's very important that if you're going to be creating, especially if you're creating something for your followers, for your clients, for your people, do take some time to really search within your own brain and your own mind and your own intuition. What is it that you are meant to do? What is it that you are meaning to share, right? As opposed to just going out there and getting other people's information and then putting your own spin on it, right? Really take more time to be in touch with your own intuition and your own knowledge. And this links to the second thing I want to share, which is actually make time to think, right? The average person doesn't truly think strategically at all. You want to carve out some specific time to truly think through your market, your offers, your beliefs, your convictions, and who you want to be in the world, right? So your starting point is to be stepping into your real industry with leadership, right? And just think about it, what it is you want to share. Again, not like falling into the same trap of just rewording someone else's stuff, right? So that's number 2. Number 3, let's reduce tech a little bit, right? And again, it's all kind of on the same theme, because as we are on social media, as we are on websites, as we are looking out there, reading the newsletters and doing all the things, not only are we stifling our own creativity, but we also not giving ourselves time to just focus on who we are and what we truly want to share. So constant distraction from technology really blocks the bursts of creative insights that come in the white space, that time when we are not staring at a screen. Okay, so let's try to reduce the tech a little bit if we can. Make time in your day where you're not staring at a screen, whether it be your phone, your computer, or a television, or whatever it might be, right? Sometime. And this brings me to the next point. Spend some time in nature, right? Take the hikes, take a walk. I don't know, we all have a different way of getting away from our desk or from our job, or from, for me, mine is, I like nature, but for me, the gym, it's either dancing or being in the gym, right? Working out. That's where I get clarity. That's where I think, I'm in the shower, right? But what is it that you need to do to kind of get a little bit of distraction from your humdrum of your business and everyday things that you are doing, and just to get back to yourself? And like Jake said, doing that self-care, taking care of yourself, taking your vitamins, eating a healthy meal. For me, working out is definitely a time where I come up with ideas. Things happen for me when I'm on the elliptical, or when I'm lifting weights, or when I'm on the reformer, right, doing my Pilates or whatever it is. That's when my brain gets to be creative. What is that for you? Figure out what that is for you, and then do more of that. Have some time every day to do that. 2 more things. So the next one is a little bit of a mindset shift. We're all content creators, most of us. Majority of us here are content creators who create content in some way, form, or another. What if you stop thinking about creating content, but rather shift your thinking to creating a legacy, right? What would happen if you were thinking about the legacy you want to leave, as opposed to just creating content, right? Would that maybe shift the way in which you create the content, and maybe create from an entirely different place, a place that can't be replicated, right? Again, and then last but not least, surround yourself with the right people who challenge you, people who inspire you, people who, when you have those moments when you're doubting yourself or you're not sure about what you're doing, people that can uplift you, that support you, and that are there to help you and challenge you to think bigger, right? So those are the nuggets, the thoughts I have for you today. Any questions, comments, additions? Anyone want to share anything around that topic? Anything you can think of? Gerard?
Yeah, I just put this in the chat, but when you were saying, like, instead of thinking of it as creating content, my mind went to like creating an overall body of work, right? Creating a legacy through that, telling a story, communicating a message, as opposed to, because when you think about it as, I need to make more content, we get on that hamster wheel of content, and I'm guilty of this myself. So I'm glad you framed it that way.
Yeah, it's interesting, and an interesting story that I used to tell. I don't really tell that so much because it's a little outdated now, but back in the day when I was doing some info marketing, I was doing things, I had a membership program, but it was before we were streaming and we were doing all the things we're doing now. So I had a monthly newsletter that I would send out in print, and it went out to my, whatever I called them, I don't even remember, my special group, elite group, whatever. And that actually became a book. So if you think about how you're creating your content, if you think of it as a larger body of work, as you said, Gerard, it can become that book, that education program, that whatever else, if you do it in bits and pieces and you know, get it out there that way. So that's also another way of kind of repurposing when you create with that thought behind it, with that mindset.
Yeah, I actually just got off a call with Chris Salem a little while ago too, and we were talking about, like, you know, in my case, like, I want to get into speaking, I want to write a book, and like the content's there. You know, it's just I need to purpose that content for those specific projects, right? But it's there through what I've created. So it's like looking at those pieces, what you have as clues to what else can be created out of them too is helpful.
Right. Exactly. So Albert.
Mine is that when you go walking, I walk like in the morning and sometimes at night. Don't put earbuds, don't listen to music, just go freestyle kind of deal. That to me, I think is my key is so much crazy stuff you think about that you, even when you're exercising or even driving in your car, just spend the time without, as you would say, noise.
Yes.
Right? Whether you're driving, you know, it doesn't matter where, but just spend time with nothing between the ears. No sound, and you'll see how.
You are right, Albert. Most definitely. Okay, I have Sushma and Ken. So Sushma, you go.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for sharing these tips, Vanessa. The one that really stood out for me is let's reduce the tech that we use, and not just the time that we spend on the devices. But one thing that I've personally been observing is, I know each of us, we operate differently, but I still have that old school thing where I need a pen and a paper to get thoughts rolling. So I have tried the ChatGPT stuff, like putting in prompts, but I have also realized that it kind of numbs out the flow of thoughts, because it's like it gives you everything and then you're like, what next? But so that's what I've observed, that I know AI is the new thing, ChatGPT is the cool thing, but it doesn't really work for me as you know, people would expect it to. So just a thought there, that maybe depending on these automated systems also kind of numbs out that creative flow.
So true, Sushma. Thanks for bringing that up. Absolutely. And I wholeheartedly agree with you. There are some things that AI is great for if you have to quickly create a thing, or you need input on something, or you just want to spark an idea. But when it comes to creation, we really need to come back to ourselves and yeah, that pen and paper and drawing from what we actually know, because it's true. I've done it. You know, you get the 10 points of this or the 5 of that, and then I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. But if I really look at it, that's not really how I would have expressed it, right? So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Kent.
I was just going to say, Albert kind of cued me to the idea that, sometimes I'm able to, if the weather's good here in Denver, of course, I can walk later at night, but I also, and then turning off the radio in the car, done that a lot lately. And so really just nothing distracting. And that is good thinking time, meditative time, but then also cultivating a few friends that can be good sounding boards, and just being able to verbally process with them. And then a lot of combining, I've had very good conversations walking later at night, and just my neighborhood's safe. It's just safe, just around the neighborhood. But talking to them while I'm walking, that's a really effective way to try to clear out the cobwebs, clarify thoughts, bounce some ideas off of a handful of people who I trust their opinion and their maturity in life and that kind of thing. So I don't know, that's just one of the things that works for me really well. But turning off the radio in the car has been a big thing the last several months for me, and just not having something coming at me all the time.
That's a really good tip. Something I might try too, because I love listening. The only time I really listen to music anymore is in the car, and I love music, but you were right. You know, again, too, that's another time that we can be productive and really reflect and really
yeah. And I come from a musical background. I've been in bands, I play guitar, sing, all that kind of stuff. So I love music, but I also know it can be a huge sort of mindless distraction too sometimes, and just that earworm, I call it, right? It just
Yeah.
burrows in and wants to take you. So I really try to be more selective with what I allow in and what I spend time listening to, even musically, even though I love music. So I just
Right.
know it can be a distractive thing, even though we think it's filling up background noise or something. I don't know, kind of a white noise even, but I find anything with words too. I mean, that's why some people love to listen to classical, no words, right? Because at least it's just the music and no words are coming at you.
Yeah,
So
that's more stimulating. Yes, yes, and you're not distracted by the words. Yeah, and if you think about it, there's very few places you can go these days where there's no background noise, right? So very, very good point. Jeff, you had an addition.
Yeah, I agree with turning all that off, but the other side of it, and I taught myself to play chess and be a better chess player by having a set of headphones on with loud music on, so that I taught myself tune out everything else and focus on my thoughts on what I was doing, right? So the other side of it is if you really need to be creative, just blast something so that you tune it out and realize what you're really trying to do. It's just another way to approach it.
I think it's an individual thing. I think there's
Yeah.
really different ways you can look at it, and some things will work for some people and some won't for others. Yeah, some of us sometimes need that maybe classical music or distraction or something to take our minds off of what's keeping us from focusing on what we're supposed to focus on. So there's that too.
Yep.
So the point is you need to figure out what it
works.
is that works for you. And again, we all have different ways of operating, but it does come back to really tuning into who you are, what's your mission, what's your vision, what's the legacy you want to leave, and how are you going to communicate that to the world? And that is what's going to set you apart from everybody else in your industry. So I really appreciate all the conversation and the input on the subject matter. I think it is thought-provoking, and it's really something to think about as we are all trying to establish ourselves, or we are busy establishing ourselves in our industries as leaders. So I just wanted to leave you all with that today. And again, thanks for all the input and the conversation. Love you guys. Go out and get those number 1 goals, number 2, number 3, number 4 to 10 done. And I will see you guys next Monday. Think of me. I'm going to be in Arizona. Rob and I are going to the $1 Million Mingle. Between us, I wish I never committed to that, but hey, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. I was just trying to figure out the kid and the this and the that, and it's just a lot of moving parts, but I'm excited about it. And I'll see you back here next Monday. And so everybody have an amazing week.
Thanks, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.